This is Jim Leeming with Tommy Roberts with the 1963 NFL Review. An exciting recap of the 1963 National Football League season featuring the biggest plays of each team. You'll see the league's outstanding players at their best in the type of action that makes pro football so exciting to watch. Now get set for the fastest football ever seen as we present the 1963 NFL season in review. The San Francisco 49ers managed some memorable moments in 1963, and the first of which occurred on the opening kickoff of the season against the Minnesota Vikings. Abe Woodson, the NFL's champion kickoff return specialist, finds an open alley, and he's home free on a 103-yard touchdown gallop, the league's longest kickoff return of the year. Against the Colts in San Francisco, the 49ers held the lead at halftime, and this was the play that did it. John Brody teams with Bernie Casey for a touchdown. Later, Brody sustained a broken arm, and the 49er fortunes fell. San Francisco's greatest moment came in its stunning upset of the Bears, and here's the key play from that game. Don Lisbon on a screen pass threads his way down the sideline to set up a 49er touchdown. In 1963, San Francisco was the only team to beat Chicago. Rookie Don Lisbon was a bright ray of sunshine for the 49ers. Against the Rams, Lisbon passes to Gary Knappel for a 45-yard touchdown. San Francisco's coaching switch from Red Hickey to Jack Christensen made the 49ers an exciting team. When Los Angeles came to San Francisco, they ran into a red-hot pass-catch combination of Lamar McCann to Bernie Casey. Casey finished the season as San Francisco's leading receiver. Early season injuries slowed J.D. Smith, but the 49er fullback closed the campaign in spectacular style against the Packers. By signing their top draft choice, George Mira, the 49ers' future looks bright. An unusual number of injuries forced the Philadelphia Eagles into the Eastern Conference cellar. The Eagles' brilliant long thrower, Sonny Jurgensen, was lost for 5 games, but before he left, Sonny combined with Tommy McDonald for some breathtaking touchdowns. This one helped the Eagles to tie the Steelers. One man provided Eagle fans and the entire NFL with many spectacular runs. He's halfback Timmy Brown, number 22, just about the best broken field runner in the business. The Cardinals left Philadelphia with a narrow victory, but not before some anxious moments from Timmy Brown, who returns this kickoff the length of the field. The Eagles' first victory came at the expense of the Dallas Cowboys, and once again Timmy Brown was cast in the hero's role. Brown bags a King Hill pass and travels 80 yards for a touchdown. A Philadelphia rookie made his mark with the Eagles and the NFL. His name is Leroy Caffey. Watch this Husky linebacker pick off a giant pass and thunder 87 yards to a touchdown. This was the longest interception return in 1963. Pete Retzlaff led the Eagles' pass-catching corps and made the big play in Philadelphia's second tie with the Steelers. Next year, the Eagles hope to reward the most faithful fans in the league with a winning team.
The Los Angeles Rams were one of the hottest teams in the NFL during the second half of the season. Against the Packers, John Arnett takes a pass and turns in one of his patented broken field runs. Arnett suffered an injury and missed most of the season, and this really hurt the Rams. Roman Gabriel finally won the quarterback job in the second half of the season, and plays such as this one to Carroll Dale against the 49ers led Los Angeles to victory in 5 of their last 9 games. Dick Bass supplied much of the Los Angeles legwork in 1963. In the 17-16 squeaker over the Colts, Dick breaks free for 51 yards to set up a Ram touchdown. The Rams took both games from the 49ers, something they hadn't done since 1958. Roman Gabriel passes to Red Phillips. The top Los Angeles receiver makes a beautiful catch and struggles to complete a 52-yard play. This play occurred in the Packer game at Los Angeles, but the Rams would rather forget it. Roman Gabriel looks to pass on 3rd and 22. This is what is meant by putting the foot back in football. Marlon McKeever finally recovers for the Rams to make it 4th and 52. Under head coach Harlan Savari, Los Angeles showed continued improvement. In the final game of the season, Gabriel unloads to Ben Wilson, and the speedy rookie gallops 77 yards to score. The Rams showed they could win in the second half of the season, and Los Angeles is hoping for more in '64. Washington Redskins were an explosive team in 1963. On opening day against the Cleveland Browns, the Redskins executed the longest pass play of the year. George Izo throws from his end zone and finds Bobby Mitchell in the open. Mitchell, who finished second in the league's pass-catching department, completes a 99-yard touchdown play, and mister, they don't come any longer. The first Washington victory was posted in Los Angeles against the Rams. Norm Snead, who continued to develop in 1963, hits Dick James at midfield. James, an 8-year NFL veteran, makes it to the Ram 2-yard line before he's finally nailed. This 78-yard play helped the Skins scalp the Rams 37-14. Bobby Mitchell gained 1,436 yards on pass receptions to lead the league in this department. 35 of these yards came against the Eagles on this spectacular scoring drive. Injuries plagued fullback Don Bossler for a good part of the season. But when he was healthy, he was great. Against the Colts, Don is in the pink on this beautiful 62-yard play. In almost every game, Bobby Mitchell was a heap big star in the Redskin TP. In the season's finale with Cleveland, Bobby gathers in a kickoff, and he's off to a 92-yard touchdown. The vote of confidence given Coach Bill McPeak reflects the optimism of the Redskins' future.
Golden Sports is on the air. You're watching a special presentation of Golden Sports, the new 24-hour premium sports nostalgia channel coming in January 2004. We've got all your sports memories from the 1950s and 1960s, the golden age of sports and television, when the champ took on the challenger every night. Ball players were real guys, and the quarterbacks called their own plays. Not just clips and talking heads, but complete shows, hour after hour, day after day, week after week, 365 days a year. You've never seen anything like this. For full information about Golden Sports, go to our website, www.goldensports.tv, or call 1-866-535-GOLD, 1-866-535-GOLD. Golden Sports guarantees to make you feel like a kid again.
Over 1 million understand its strength. It can improve your energy, your shape. This is Bowflex Power Rod technology, and it can only be found on genuine Bowflex equipment, like the new Bowflex Extreme. Now you can get the results you want, the exercises you need, all at an affordable price. You've never seen this Bowflex before. Call 1-800-390-9890 now and get a free video or DVD and check out the new Bowflex Extreme. You can have a high-performance body. Just look for real Bowflex Power Rod technology, proven effective at burning fat and building muscle. Now you can own the new Extreme for no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. The Bowflex Extreme is not available in stores. You know you're ready. Let Bowflex help you get there. Call now for a free video or DVD today, because your results...
In 1963, the Minnesota Vikings proved themselves as a team of the future. The Vikings tied for 4th place in the West. In their runaway victory over the 49ers, rookie receiver Ray Poge was the big gun with a spectacular 67-yard touchdown. The Vikings battled the Packers to the final minute, but the NFL's Rookie of the Year, Paul Flatley, made things uncomfortable for the world champions. Flatley catches a sideline pass and follows with a dazzling display of determination. Fran Tarkenton, the master scrambler, was at his best against Los Angeles. Fran really gives the Rams the runaround before launching a long pass. Jerry Reichow takes it, gives the slip to the final defender, and it's a thrilling 57-yard touchdown. Most NFL teams found themselves chasing Tommy Mason, and the Colts were no exception. Tommy, an all-pro halfback, rattles off a 70-yard touchdown. In Tarkenton, Mason, and Flatley, the Vikings have the nucleus of a fabulous offense. Minnesota defeated Detroit for the first time in its history, and this play was the clincher. Gordy Smith catches the ball, and the Lions try to trap him. But Gordy escapes the Lions' den to score on a breathtaking play. Minnesota's most memorable moment came against the Western Conference champion Chicago Bears. Rookie Ron Vanderkellen came off the bench and directed the Vikings to a 17-17 tie. And this pass to Gordy Smith was the big play. Minnesota's trend toward improvement should continue in '64. The lofty preseason predictions for the Dallas Cowboys were not without substance. They can be found in these scintillating highlights. The Cowboys' initial victory of the season was over the Detroit Lions. This 41-yard touchdown by Amos Marsh was the decider in a 17-14 upset by Dallas. The Cowboys engaged in an offensive thriller against the Eastern champion Giants in New York. The big play for Dallas found Eddie LeBaron throwing long to Frank Clark for a 75-yard touchdown. This play threw a real scare at the mighty Giants. Don Meredith was the Cowboys' sharpest shooter. Watch in slow motion as Don fires to Frank Clark. This touchdown against the Eagles clinched a victory as the Cowboys triumphed 27-20. In Dallas, the Cowboys threw another scare into the Giants with a devastating ground attack headed by Amos Marsh. The Giants left Dallas a winner, but their 34-27 triumph didn't come easy. Against Pittsburgh, the Cowboys were magnificent in defeat. And this Meredith to Pettis Norman pass set up a big D TD. The Cowboys' late season spurt indicates they'll be title contenders in '64.
Hamstrung by injuries, the Detroit Lions still managed to finish in a tie with Minnesota for fourth place in the West. In their first meeting with the Chicago Bears, Earl Morrall teamed with Gail Cogdell on a sparkling 38-yard scoring strike. Detroit, a solid preseason contender, scored a smashing 26-3 win over the San Francisco 49ers. In that game, Tommy Watkins takes a 49er punt and starts upfield. Watkins, who finished second in punt returns, outraces the 49ers on a 90-yard touchdown return, the longest of the year in the NFL. The Earl Morrall to Terry Barr pass-catch combination thrilled Lion fans every week. In the 49er game, Terry makes a great catch to set up a Detroit score. When the big play was needed, Morrall went looking for Barr, and more often than not, he found him. Against the Rams, Morrall and Barr accounted for a major part of the Detroit offense. When the Lions tied the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving Day, 13-13, Earl was magnificent. He manages to get the ball away, and Tom Watkins turns a near loss into a long gain. Detroit eliminated Cleveland from the Eastern Conference title race. Morrall connects with Terry Barr, and Terry tears nonstop 75 yards to a touchdown. If their walking wounded return to action, the Lions should once again roar in '64. The Pittsburgh Steelers fought a gallant fight for the Eastern Conference crown and came within a whisker of winning. Steelers finished with a 7-4-3 record. One of the three ties came on opening day against Philadelphia. Brady Keys sets up the first Steeler tally on this nifty punt return. Keys on his way to a touchdown. Stumbles and falls on the Eagle 10 after a 76-yard run back. The high point of the Pittsburgh season came when the Steelers whitewashed the New York Giants 31-0. Ed Brown clicks for 6 with his perfect pass to Buddy Dial. As the Redskins kick off to the Steelers, get set for some fireworks. Gary Ballman, who turned out to be a sensation for the Steelers in 1963, grabs the boot and takes off. Pittsburgh blockers clear a corridor, and Gary breaks into the clear. Ballman blasts 92 yards for the winning touchdown in a 34-28 Pittsburgh victory. The second time the Steelers met the Eagles, the result was another tie, 20-20. With 7 seconds left in the first half, Buddy Dial makes a magnificent catch and stumbles into the end zone. But the officials rule Buddy was out of bounds on the 2. The biggest play of the Steelers season came with Theron Sapp scoring on a 23-yard run to beat Dallas and send the Steelers against New York for the Eastern title. Pittsburgh came out second best in this game, but it shouldn't be long before the Steelers win their first conference title.
Under new coach Don Shula, the Colts made a good showing, and with 8 victories, they climbed to 3rd place in the West. Early in the season, the Colts won against the Packers. Johnny Unitas and rookie John Mackey kept Baltimore in the game, but the Colts lost a close one. In Baltimore, the Colts and Packers hooked up in another Donnybrook, and again it was Unitas and Mackey shining for the hometowners. Unitas uncorks a long one to Mackey for a beautiful touchdown. Once again, the Packers had to rally to win. When Lope and Lenny Moore was healthy, he was a terror. Here's Lenny scoring a touchdown against the best defensive team in football, the Chicago Bears. Baltimore's finest offensive showing came in a winning effort against the Lions. The Colts scored the first 4 times they had the ball, and Unitas and Ray Berry teamed up on a picture play. Against Minnesota, the Colts faced almost certain defeat. Johnny Unitas and Jimmy Orr combined in the last 5 seconds to beat the clock and the Vikings. When the Vikings came to Baltimore, Unitas bombarded them with an aerial barrage that featured the receiving of the Colts' outstanding rookie, John Mackey. The Colts closed their season against the Rams, and Tom Matty made the play that sealed a Baltimore victory. With Johnny Unitas in fine form, the Colts could challenge for the crown in 1964. Without a doubt, the St. Louis Cardinals were the surprise team of the NFL. The Cards were a threat for the Eastern Conference Championship as late as the 12th week of the season. And plays such as this were a Cardinal trademark. Against the Eagles, Charlie Johnson gets out of a traffic jam and passes to Bobby Joe Conrad for a touchdown. The Cards pulled this game out of the fire with a 28-24 victory. The loss of John David Crow was minimized by the sensational showing of Bill Triplett, a convert from the defensive squad. Triplett was one of the NFL's top rushers, and he stuns the Steelers with this 63-yard run. The Cards massacred the Vikings 56-14, and the top play from that score-a-thon came when rookie Bill Thornton thunders 55 yards for a touchdown. When the Steelers came to St. Louis, the Cards took the wraps off another prize rookie, Jackie Smith. When the Cards staged a tremendous rally to nip Pittsburgh 24-23, Mr. Smith really went to town. Week in and week out, young Charlie Johnson was the keystone of the St. Louis offense. This pass to Sonny Randall triggered the Cardinals' upset over the Browns. A Card combination that was hard to trump was the duo of Charlie Johnson and Bobby Joe Conrad. Conrad, the NFL's leading pass receiver, was great in every game. The Cards came close in 63, but we can expect more in 64.
Golden Sports is on the air. You're watching a special presentation of Golden Sports, the new 24-hour sports nostalgia channel coming in January 2004. Only Golden Sports has hour after hour of complete, authentic, original shows from the 1950s and 1960s, not seen on television since the day they were first shown. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey, boxing, wrestling, bowling, roller derby. No talking heads, no modern commercials, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is the real McCoy. You've never seen anything like this. For full information about Golden Sports, go to our website, www.goldensports.tv, or call 1-866-535-GOLD, 1-866-535-GOLD. Golden Sports guarantees to make you feel like a kid again.
Lose fat, increase energy, reshape your body in record time with Fitness Made Simple's new 45-minute fat-burning workout.
There are no tricky dance moves, no high-impact gyrations, just lightweight training done at a heart-pumping cardio pace to build lean muscle and burn pounds of fat.
Work out at home with fitness celebrity John Bastow doing exercises to sculpt your chest, back, shoulders, arms, legs, and abs. Call now or order online at fitnessmadesimple.com.
Fitness Made Simple, bringing real results to real people.
107.7 WNSA and Empire Sports Network are blitzing you with post-game football coverage. Join Howard Simon immediately following every Buffalo game for the WNSA post-game report. Howard will break down the good and the bad.
What I'm talking about is one-on-one battles.
Take your call.
Steve, you're on 107.7 WNSA.
And have reaction from players and coaches on both sides of the ball. If you're a football fan, you can't do without the WNSA post-game report. Tune in Sunday after Buffalo battles Miami.
First time in 4 years, the Green Bay Packers are not champions in the West. The Pack finished in second place with an 11-2-1 record. Tom Moore was a tower of strength in the Green Bay backfield, and against the Lions, Tom was terrific. Moore goes 77 yards for a touchdown in one of the year's finest runs. The Los Angeles Rams kick off to Green Bay to open the game. Herb Adderley, who finished third in the league in kickoff returns, breaks into the clear, and he's going all the way. Herb hurries 98 yards to lead the Packers to a 42-10 win. This play saved the day for Green Bay against Minnesota. The Viking field goal attempt is blocked, and Hank Greminger grabs the free ball. Hank pounds 80 yards to lead the Packers past Minnesota. A broken hand slowed Bart Starr, but he was back in shape by Thanksgiving. Bart passes to Ron Kramer, and Big Ron blasts out of a traffic jam to jar the Lions on a rousing romp to the Detroit 3. Jim Taylor finished second in the league in rushing. His longest, a 40-yard touchdown dash, came against the Rams. For the fourth successive season, Taylor rushed for over 1,000 yards, and he's the second player in NFL history to do this. The Packers had to beat the 49ers in the final game of the season, and this start, a Boyd Dowler bomb, proved the margin of victory. Despite a fine season, Green Bay is no longer Titletown, USA. Cleveland Brown's success in 1963 can be summed up in 2 words: Jim Brown. Jim jarred opposing teams for 1,863 yards, an NFL record. In the first game of the year, Brown takes a flip from Frank Ryan, and the Washington Redskins are still wondering where he went. The slow-motion camera records this awesome display of power as Jim bulls through the Redskin reservation for 80 unbelievable yards and a touchdown. When the Browns met the Giants in New York, Jim Brown was at his ground-pounding best, and the Giants were jolted 35-24. Jim eludes or outruns the entire New York defense on this 72-yard touchdown trip. Frank Ryan enjoyed a good season at quarterback for the Browns. Frank works free from the Detroit Lion rush and fires for points. Gary Collins outleaps the Detroit defender for a thrilling 63-yard touchdown. Ernie Green was a pleasant surprise in 1963. Ernie takes a handoff here and hustles for 73 yards. the Browns finished in second place and earned the right to represent the Eastern Conference in the Playoff Bowl in Miami.
Only one team beat the Chicago Bears, who led from start to finish to win the Western Conference Championship. When the chips were down, the Billy Wade to Mike Ditka combination reached its greatest heights. The Bears were involved in some tight decisions, and in their 10-3 conquest of the Colts, this play rocked Wrigley Field. Ronnie Bull gets a key block from Mike Ditka and charges for a 44-yard touchdown. The Bears' defense was the best in the business. Against the Rams, they came up with a superlative performance to handcuff Roman Gabriel, and Chicago won 6-0 on 2 field goals. In the monumental showdown against the Packers for undisputed possession of first place, Willie Gallimore came up with a peak performance, headed by this touchdown rush. In the same game, the Bears secondary was extra special. Dave Witzel makes a beautiful interception. This was one of 5 Chicago steals as the Bears swept to a 26-7 victory. But this was the biggest play of the year for Chicago. Trailing Pittsburgh 17-14 late in the game, Wade passes to Ditka. On sheer power, Ditka stretched this into a super sensational 63-yard gain. This set the stage for the tying field goal in a 17-17 thriller. When the 49ers came to Chicago, the Bears remembered only too well the upset they suffered early in the season. Willie Gallimore breaks away for a touchdown as Chicago avenged its only loss of the season. The final game against the Lions was a pressure contest all the way, but Billy Wade found the answer for victory in clever Johnny Morris. The Chicago Bears combined a steady offense with a superb defense to capture the Western Conference crown. Football fireworks forward passing style was the feature of the New York Giants, who roared to their 3rd consecutive Eastern Conference crown. Early in the season, Y.A. Tittle, who led the Giants, demonstrated exceptional success with a forward pass. Tittle spears Joe Walton, and it's touchdown New York. The Giants showed fantastic form in the 3rd week against the Eagles. Perfect blocking springs Joe Morrison free, and he's off to a 70-yard touchdown. Dallas Cowboys drive goalward against the Giants. But Dick Lynch puts the pinch on a Don Meredith pass, and the NFL's interception leader lopes 82 yards for a touchdown. When speaking of old pros, there are none better than Tittle and Frank Gifford. Frank makes an amazing catch in New York's victory against the Cardinals. Del Schaffner was not only New York's leading receiver, he also earned All-Pro honors. Here's Del at his best, giving extra effort every inch of the way. This 70-yard touchdown, Schaffner's longest of the season, was one of 9 TD receptions. The Giant defense, tops in the East, came up with a big play against the Redskins. Andy Robustelli forces a fumble, and Jim Ketkavage recovers for a Giant touchdown. In the showdown against Pittsburgh, the Giants prove they are human. Coach Allie Sherman shudders when he watches this play for reasons which are readily apparent. Although the fans ate it up, this is not one of New York's bread and butter plays. To counter that bit of comedy, New York stung the Steelers with his portrait of a perfect play. Tittle finds Schaffner on a masterful maneuver. Action 1963, as can be found only in the National Football League. America's most exciting spectator sport. Skating action on the bank track featuring the Pioneers and the Jolters. And it's coming your way from the huge Oakland Coliseum Arena in Oakland, California. This is Walt Harris calling the action along with Ken Conselman. As we pick up the action here, we're in the first period of play, and the score is the Pioneers 1 and the Jolters 0. The Pioneers in the red and the blue, the Jolters in the blue and the black. And here we go with the jam. We have 8 minutes to go here in the first period of play in a championship round game. The Pioneers and the Jolters, two of the best. And the Jolters get two skaters out to start this jam. Barbara Baker on the move. With her, Pam Kaniva moving on the play. The Pioneers have failed. Now the Pioneers have a jammer out on the play. Pioneers have Candy Jones moving, and she's going to go by one skater. The trip going out of the turn after whipping her teammate. So Kaniva has the lead. Moving on the pack now. Joni Weston, the golden blonde, back there to block for the Pioneers, number 59. There's Kaniva for the Pioneers taking an elbow block. Now grabbing the lead, Candy Jones in that block, and Kaniva putting her on the rail. Candy Jones, 57, being blocked out by Jan Ballo, one of the toughest gals on skates. Jan Ballo blocking on Candy Jones now. Here comes Kaniva again. Joni Weston meets her with the block. Another block by Joni Weston. Puts her on the rail. Down she goes. Ballo blocking there on Candy Jones now. Another blocking there on Candy Jones. Candy Jones still battling, trying to move in there for points. Ballo blocking. Kaniva takes a block at her now. Down she goes. 2 seconds, 1, and that is it. Time runs out on that jam. No score on the play, so the lead. Pioneers 1 and the Jolters 0. Okay, Ken, looks like we've got quite a game shaping up in this championship round.
I think so, Walt. The Pioneers are up on this one. Candy Jones, I think, is going to be one of the big new additions to the Pioneers' scoring efforts this time around. I think she's an eager skater, and she wants the points. She exhibited that on that one.
Another jam now, ready to move out on the play. Let's see who gets out of there first. Barbara Baker, a blocker's out in front looking for a teammate. She's got one, Rose Duran. Rose Duran is on the loose here. Number 4 moving here for the Jolters on the play. Slim gal, but a tough gal on skates. Jan Ballo up front. Pioneer trying to get by her. Koshu, number 55. Koshu finally gets out of there with some great skating. She has raised a nice skate. She was a natural for this game. Francine Koshu, number 5. She is tremendous out there on the bank track, but with a good lead now, Rose Duran of the Jolters. Oh, she's got Jan Ballo to block for now. Jan Ballo, number 8, leading the charge here. Moving in on Joni Weston. Ballo with a block in there. Duran goes by for the point. More blocking in the pack. Ballo leading the charge there, and 3 more points are picked up by Rose Duran and the Jolters for a total of 4 on the play. And they jump out in front over the Pioneers 4-1 with 5:25 to go here in the first period of play. Ken, you want to call this next jam?
Okay, Walt, the Pioneers down right now on the scoreboard, but it's very early in the game, and again, this is championship competition. This is a game tonight that the Pioneers want very, very much. Bud Atkinson Sr., of course, the man that is bringing this Pioneer club together. A lot of veteran talent.